Hello, guys. Welcome to the Knowledge Empowers You podcast, or aka even YouTube videos. As again, today with you is Katarina, aka Kat. Hi. And Maciej, aka Kolach.
Dobré ráno.
And Barbara, aka Barush.
Hello.
And today's topic is going to be work-life balance.
Yay.
Oh
And-
no.
What do you mean? Oh no! Oh no! And I agreed with guys that today I let them speak first, otherwise they would never have a chance to talk once I would start. So which one of you two want to start first?
Baruch starts.
Yes, because when Clutch starts, I have the same thing to say, like last time. Okay, so for me, work-life balance, when I was younger, more junior employee, I remember I thought I have a work-life balance. If I, let's say, do everything that I need to do in work and then go home, that's a work-life balance. And of course, later I learned that that's not it. And many times your bosses, they will ask you to do things that on top of regular working day, right? And many of us know Colette, right?
What are you talking about?
Never happened to me.
So I think I think in many of us there's something inside that tells you yeah, I want to be that amazing employee that will be the one to help your boss or to show your boss that you are amazing professional, right? So and that time I think that's when I realized when it got to extreme that that's not what work-life balance is, right?
So you become the workaholic instead of having the work-life balance.
exactly. So it wasn't really that much about working hours. I was careful not to do more working hours that I felt comfortable with, but at the same time, I within those 8 hours, let's say, I did much more than I should have, I think. And later on, when I realized I'm really being tired and it's not really good for my health, it's I need to stop. I need to do what a one person should do, not 1.5 or 2 people in one body. So at that time I realized okay, the bosses, they will always ask for something extra. They'll always try to push you because that's what they're there for, right? To improve efficiency and do it in a way that you will not suffer. That would be the better manager, right? But many of them, they do not, right? And sometimes I feel they don't even realize what they are doing because you don't show it, right? So you feel maybe they look at you and feel yeah, she's got it under control. So yeah, I think many times it's not just about how many working hours you put into your day, but also how much of your effort and energy. And yeah, I think if you are getting stressed and you are starting to see it on your the impact on your health, then I think it's time to reevaluate how much your job means to you, if it's more important than your health or than your free time, etc. So yeah, that's my story.
But what do you do for the balance? What's your balance?
For the balance, for me, it's all about priorities. So I don't think you should work only 8 hours. If you love your job and that's something that makes you happy and it doesn't make you tired in a bad way, then I think, well, go for it, right? But if you feel okay, this job, I hate this job and I don't really like doing this and it brings nothing to me, no benefit whatsoever, then you should reevaluate your values, right? So if you feel this job is not giving you any additional value to your life, then I think it's time to focus on something else, on different job perhaps. So yeah, I think it's not just how much time you spend in office or or working in a day. It's not just that when I think of work-life balance. So it's about priorities to me. Like if you love it, yeah, go for it. It doesn't mean you have bad work-life balance.
Collage?
Okay, I will add on what Baruch said, and I will sum it up in maybe one sentence. Work-life balance is shit and bullshit. And I believe there is just life balance. You know,
Mhm.
work is natural to human. It's natural to us.
Mhm.
We are used to work. We are used to being gatherers and hunters from I don't know how millions years ago, and we are used to do something. We are used to do and trade something for something because we want to get something, so we need to trade. So for me, it's not about work as a work, but you want to do something and you are trading and changing and balancing it out. So for me, it's all about life balance. It's about how you split it into these
Mhm.
boxes in your life and whether it's friends, because life again, it's not one thing. It's again consisting of multiple things, and this life consists of work as well. So you have friends, you have health, you have me time, you have family time, you have I don't know what, training whatsoever, exercising, whatever you want to do, sports, and then you have work. And this work is one of the pillars, I would say, because you are going to work regularly, you need to go there anyway. For some reasons, you need to pay taxes and get the living and everything.
For some reasons.
For some reasons, yep, these are some of the obvious ones. And that's why I think that a lot of people are using this work-life balance as a wrong label. I mean, I don't
Mhm.
believe that there is just work and there is just life. That's just rubbish. And that's why I look at more in a more complex way on it as a life balance, and that's why I compensate not just between work but within all of those areas. Like right now, I can't do sports that often or in a way that I was used to. Okay, so I need to rebalance it in another way. I can't meet friends face to face as I was used to or as I wanted to have beerings before, so I need to rebalance it in some way. And that goes the same with work. Sometimes I do more, sometimes I do less, depending on what's the workload, because I do it based on what Baruch said, priorities and tasks to be done. So what I want to fulfill so that I can feel fulfilled, that's my main priority, to be happy. And based on that, I balance everything else. So that's what I would say to that.
It's interesting. I totally wanted to speak something else, but I'll get to it. But I'll start with from my burnout education of the psychiatrist Mr. Kasparu from Czech Republic, and he's talking about the 6 walls, right? So you need to have these 6 walls, and imagine you're inside of the room, and there is a candle with a fire, and so anything that is the floor, that's you, right? That's when you're building yourself, like who you are, who you want to be. Then you have wall that is, let's say, on the right side, that's your work, and on the left side are your friends. And then we have the wall that is opposite to you, that's your, let's say, achievement, something you want to achieve. And then you have the wall at the back, that's your family. And it not necessarily needs to be family you were born in, but even the family you create across your life. And then anything that is on the top, so the ceiling, that's your spiritual things, when you want to fulfill your soul, whether it's art, religion, etc. And so imagine when you have that candle with that fire on top, if one wall falls off, what happens to the fire, right? It usually shakens up. But if 2 walls fell down, the fire is blown away, and that's what happens. So if you, like you said, I like when you said collage life balance. So actually, since we are in a lockdown, we're at home, I reshuffled my day. I don't look at my day 9 to 5, but I literally look at my day as a full day. And I go, okay, this is the time I have now coffee with you, or we just do the podcast. Then I go and have a call with managers. Then I go and do my exercise. Then I go and do something else. Then I go and take my dog out, and literally totally put the private stuff in it, or private, or how can I say it, to fulfill the entire day, right?
Do you schedule it? Like, or do you assign specific times to those activities?
There are things I do put into my calendar, and then there are things that I don't, because I want to keep them flexible. Because if someone wants to have, let's say, a call with me, I just don't want to be blocked the whole day, and then I reshuffle. So my health balance, which I call my health balance, I exercise 4 times a week, right? And so I try to exercise in the morning hours until lunchtime. But if it happens to be for me that I have calls all day, then I put it in the afternoon or even in the evening. It's just that I set to myself 4 times a week I need to exercise. And why I say I need to, it's because it is helping me mentally. It's helping me keep my energy level. And last but not least, it helps me keep my weight under control. And those who are listening to us, I take hormonal tablets, so my weight goes up. So the exercise is really helping me to keep it down. I don't exercise to look slim or skinny, not even possible for me, but it really is helping me mentally. Another thing I do is my art. And again, I draw a lot. I'm trying for hyperrealism when you cannot distinguish between photo and a drawing. And that's another balance for me, because once I draw, it helps me focus so much in the drawings that I don't consider anything else. And literally afterwards, I feel like a refreshed person, because my brain, focus on one thing, and I am not bothered with suddenly some notifications, call, etc. It's just me and the drawing. Thankfully, we have a puppy, and the puppy needs to go out. So the puppy takes you to the fresh air. And especially now when we are locked in home, how often do you guys go out on the fresh air during the day? Kolaj?
Does balcony count?
Yes.
Then once.
Once, okay.
Once,
Marush?
twice, yep.
Me, like 0.3 around.
So I'm forced in a good way, 4 times a day, right? Plus one of the 4 times is 1 hour walk with her. So, and that again helps with many things, because you are you are outside, there's the sun, so vitamin D, you have some fresh air, and it's only just me, my husband, and the puppy. We have time to talk to each other. You see the green nature around you. So again, that's another thing that helps me. And then afterwards I go on calls and I just continue, but I have a way much fresher mind to focus on the calls, or rechange my energy to the points that I need to focus at.
This brings me to an exercise you can do at home regarding what Katka was saying about the candle, but in a more structured way. It's a book. It's an exercise from a book called "Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway" from Susan Jeffers. We'll be sharing the link with you. And she is talking about these 9 pillars or 9 boxes. So what you do is you draw 3 times 3 fields, and each of these boxes you fill with the area you hold dear to you. So one of them will be family, the other one will be your closest boyfriend, girlfriend, hubby, whatever. Spouses, yeah, whatever. And you create these 9 areas by yourself. These 9 as it's important for you. But what's more important is not just you write them and you list them, but also you list all the daily and weekly activities you do to fulfill these areas.
Mhm.
see then how much actually they are in balance or out balance, and then you can actually see like, okay, this is my daily schedule, and I don't do anything for my, I don't know, for example, health is really important for me, but what are the activities for my day which contributes to this pillar? And you suddenly see that, okay, so I do brush my teeth, and I have a shower that belongs there. Sure, why not? But I don't do any walks or do any exercise. Then I should think about how I do that distribution, how I add it, or I remove it, or I do too much of something, so I remove it. And that's how you can actually get this life balance in check, or health balance, or whatever you call it.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
Never thought of it that way. But the only way I was thinking of, let's say, a check, and I wrote article about it, and we'll share it here as well. When I changed jobs from previous company to this company, 1 year has passed, and I realized I only did 2 drawings. And the worst part is, like, you literally check 1 year has passed. 1 year. Oh my God, how come I did only 2 drawings? And I could give you, like you said, all the shit and bullshit, like new job, new learnings. I need to learn like how I'm gonna perform, meet all the people. I could go on and on and on and on. But then again, 1 year has passed, the whole year. What on earth have I been doing? So then I rarely give myself New Year's resolutions, but I did. And I said to myself, I'm gonna draw minimum 1 art a month, right? It must be. So again, once a whole year passed, I don't want to see I only did 2 drawings. That's ridiculous. So I ended up with 11, which is a very good balance. But that's when you do these retrospectives, let's say, like, okay, what happened in 1 year, right? And like you've said, when you do these 9 boxes and then you check, oh my God, I'm actually not doing anything for my health. What's going on? Right? So, yeah, very interesting. And I have to say that since March, as we are at home since March, it's going to be 1 year now. I'm happy that I convinced my husband to exercise as well. And it's now going to be almost, he started in May because he was sick in March. So it's going to be in May 1 year for him.
He's definitely exercising without any t-shirts, right? Just naked and all sweaty and pushing in front of you, right? Anything benching.
No.
That's what she wanted, Kat.
Watch
Admit
my
it.
muscles grow.
No. We got that I am for the volume and he's for the shredding, you know. But interesting for him, he never like exercised, let's say, one particular. So this we are go to gym, right? So it's like bodybuilding, let's say, for that long period. And I really try to tell him it really helps you mentally, whether you want it or not. Okay, there are side effects that suddenly you have the muscles or nicer breasts, etc. But mentally, it really helps you. And he said
suddenly the shopping bag is not as heavy as it was.
Exactly. And he said that he knows that I keep exercising. What is it now? 8 years or something, and that I am devoted to it, even though I'm lazy as hell. And trust me, I don't want to, but I have to. And so he now, after almost like 1 year of exercising, he said to me, I see why you keep pushing yourself, like why you go into the gym and you do the exercise, like how much it helps, even if you don't want to, but it really does help mentally, like tremendously. And so that's why he keeps going. He has a different exercise plan. He goes every other day. And I have these 4 days a week. So I usually go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday free, Thursday, Friday. But he goes every other day. And plus we do hiking as well. So we go to the forest or wherever. Any other thoughts that you can share with our audience?
I think, I mean, I would just summarize. I think what I've learned from you today, guys.
0.3 going on the fresh air.
I will open my doors more often, right?
Yeah, I should exercise more. That's one. But like in terms of work-life balance, it's, you know, it sounds like you should define your priorities, right? What is important for you, and check if it's in balance, like in terms of how much energy you give and get from those areas, right? So if work gets energy from you, then you should have as much energy getting from different areas. So yeah, that's, to me, that sounded like, yeah, like a summary of today's podcast.
I like it. I'm just giving a thumb up, like, yeah.
It was a good summary.
Well, guys, thank you for listening, and you'll hear us next week. Bye.
Ciao,
Bye,
ciao.
guys.
Just so you know, this podcast represents our own opinions, experience, and our own ideas. We do not represent any official statement from our employers, and this is not their official channel representing the company.